Hi, my name's Loren, and I have a farm southeast of Lincoln City. It's in the Schooner Creek watershed area, also probably the Drift Creek watershed area, depending on where you want to start. It's a big issue for me is that I was married to a younger, beautiful woman, a picture of health and an athlete, and she got directly sprayed with a helicopter with herbicides, and right after that started developing upper respiratory problems, and continued with those upper respiratory problems for years to come, and which before, prior to that, had no health issues like that at all, and it just kept increasing in frequency until finally it became lung cancer, and at age 44 she died of that lung cancer. It spread to her bones, brain, and lymphs also. So that impacted my life and the mother of my 3 children. Now my daughter is due in August, and still live on the same piece of property, and they're logging again. And if the herbicides are sprayed there, I have grave concern for what's going to happen.
So
that's what I'm saying. It takes to give somebody a handful of poison and they die, you give them half that, they still die, give them half of that, they get sick, and you keep going half and half and half until, we don't see anything wrong. Well, at the molecular level, there's all kinds of things happening that are beyond anybody's comprehension, and there's a direct, what about not only her, but poor bees and stuff, they don't know where property lines are, and animals go into these areas, it's all interconnected.
Do you think there's a real fear about your drinking water when these chemicals are sprayed really close to the springs and wells that feed your house or feed your city's water system? I mean, the current setback for Depot Bay's water system is 15 feet with a backpack sprayer. So it doesn't give you a lot of buffer zone. There's a lot of fear that first rain's just going to carry those chemicals down into the drinking water supply. I mean, it has to move. I've seen this on jobs that I do where somebody's sprayed and it gets picked up by the roots of the neighboring tree. The tree gets affected and dies. It gets onto the neighbor's place through non-purposeful drift. Somebody didn't intend it to happen, but it happened to wash it down through the soil. So now that your daughter's pregnant, I mean, I know that people talk about the dangers of pesticides and unborn babies. What's your take? I mean, with this current practice going on, does it seem like it's endangering your family's health?
Oh, sure. I have absolutely a friend of mine has a son. She got sprayed in a park when she was pregnant. Her son's at 30 or 40 now, I think, and he was born with incredible birth defects that are related to pesticide poisoning, and she's had to live with those results, and him too, for the rest of their lives. What I feel is, why take a chance? Why take a risk, a dollar? Recalibrate your thinking, recalibrate how you want to approach things, and take into account the collateral damage that could happen. And there's a whole. They logged for years and didn't use pesticides, and like I said, the timberlands will come back. It doesn't just magically disappear. It has an effect on something, and the effect it has initially on anything it touches is to kill it. And by whatever means it's killing it, it can also have that effect on subsequent other plants and or species or animals. And someday, long after you and I are gone, somebody's going to look back and see how barbaric this is.